Hello, this is Chapter 5, Section 4 of Creating a New Nation. And Section 4 is talking about how America became its own independent nation. So we're going to do the vocabulary, Chapter 5, Section 4 vocabulary. And the first vocabulary word that we're going to come across is the Second Continental Congress. So over here where it says where I have the vocabulary sheet, I'm just going to type in that sentence where I found the word Second Continental Congress. It says May 10th, 1775, the Second Continental Congress assembled for the first time. And the reason why I went ahead and typed it in is because it's easier for me to actually absorb the information that way rather than just copying and pasting, because you don't want to just go at it the easy way and then it comes to find out down the road you don't even know what you're talking about. So I type it in because it's easier to learn that way. And then over here where what do I think it means? Well, if I read a little bit lower, a little bit further, it says however, many delegates were not yet prepared to break away from Great Britain. So it would be another year before John Adams would ask Thomas Jefferson to write the Declaration of Independence. So I would say, and you could take a wild guess as to what the word actually means. So I would say that the Second Continental Congress was a political body that met to break away from to talk about how they were going to break away from Great Britain, as well as structure the nation or create their own political body as a new nation. So I'm going to change the font once again and the color. And I'm going to say the Second Continental Congress was a group of politicians, or I would say people who met to decide how they would break away from Britain. Let's say Great Britain. And create their own governmental body. Okay, so that's Second Continental Congress. So if I look over here, or if I go over here and I go down, the next word that I will come across is Continental Army. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and work on the word Continental Army. So the sentence where I find Continental Army is, it says, most important, the Congress created the Continental Army to fight against Britain in a more organized way than the colonial militias could. So it says most important the Congress created the Continental Army to fight against Britain in a more organized way than the colonial militias could. And then, so based off of that, I can take a guess that the meaning, take a guess as to what the meaning of the word is. So I would say that the Continental Army was the Continental Army was an army created by the Second Continental Congress to, let me see, it says the second to fight against Britain in a more organized way. So to me, this means that the militias that were fighting against Britain before were just a bunch of people, bunch of ragtag gang of people who didn't have a plan for how they were actually going to win. And if anybody is familiar with how our American military work, you actually have to go through boot camp and you got to go through training, and there are certain ways for you to do things. You actually have to organize yourself as a fighting unit. So this is what the Second Continental Congress created the Continental Army for, so that they could fight in a more organized manner and actually win more of their battles. So the next word that I'm going to come across is petition. And so I'm going to go up to find the word petition. And then I'm going to type the sentence where I found the word petition. So it says Congress sent a petition or formal request to George III called the Olive Branch Petition. It assured the king of the colonists' desire for peace and asked him to protect the colonists' rights. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. So it says the Congress sent a petition or formal request to George III called the Olive Branch Petition. And I'm going to just leave it right there because all the rest of it isn't. So, but it's important that you use this next part to help you with your definition. So it says it assured the king of the colonists' desire for peace and asked the king to protect the colonists' rights. So, in other words, I would say, if I had to take a guess as to what this word meant, I would say that it was a request, or it would be a letter that tells the government what you want, and let me see, it assured the king of the colonists' desires for peace and asked him to protect the colonists' rights. So basically that's what it is. It's just a letter that tells the government what you want. People sign it to show that there are lots of people who are in agreement, or people who are in agreement with it will sign it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that because that's just some extra information that I have. So people sign it to show how many people are in agreement. So let's see, what is the next word? The next word is olive branch petition. So I'm going to go and find the word olive branch petition. I'm going to write the sentence where I found it. So I'm just going to kind of start right here. The olive branch petition assured the king of the colonists' desire for peace and asked him to protect the colonists' rights. So I'm just going to write that there. Okay, so the olive branch petition, if I had to guess, would be a letter to the king that told the king that the colonists wanted peace, but they also wanted, let me see, desire for peace and asked him to protect, they also wanted the king to protect their rights. So it was a letter wanted, that the colonists wanted peace, and they asked him to protect their rights. So this is how I want you to do the vocabulary, section 5, chapter 5, section 4, vocabulary. You're going to use the reading that I'm going to post shortly to be able to complete this assignment, this vocabulary assignment. Make sure that you write your name at the top so I'll know who you are when you submit it in Google Classroom. That's all. Stay safe and stay healthy.